Okay, let's start now.
I
So
said yes.
yes,
Okay.
yes, I heard you. So since you are not in the previous class, I will just try to do a short summary of everything we have been saying before now. This is use of English and communications skills one, which means we have two. The second one will be done in your second semester 100 level. We call that one GST 102. This is just 101. So, and this just 101 is only concerned about teaching you how to acquire, I think, two major skills, which are very, very important in your studies under non as a non-student, as a student of Open University. And those two skills that we're talking about, we have the first one as listening skills. You will find out that as a student, especially one under Open University, you must know how to listen. Listening is one thing you must, it's not just you listening anyhow, you must know how to listen effectively because everything you'll be doing in the school system, ranging from receiving facilitations, interacting with your peers, and so on and so forth, will evolve around listening. So listening is one skill that you need, very crucial skill. That is why it is mandatory that every student, regardless of your program, will take this course in the university. So you learn listening skill, which is the first one, and the second one, I mentioned that you have two important skills to learn in this course. First one is listening skill, and the second one is reading skills or skill. So how to listen and how to read. That is, oh, sorry, those are the two things that you'll be exposed to in the course of this material. And we've done some things. We've talked about the definition of listening. We've talked about why you listen. We've talked about what you listen to and some other things about listening. We've talked about listening enabling skills. I think about 7 or 6 of them. We've talked about them in the previous class, but let me just go through them like a summary. Now, why do you listen? The simple answer is okay. Let me ask you, since you said this is your first time, let's try to make it interactive. So, why do you listen? Let me just ask you that. Although I should have, you know, mentioned the meaning of listening first, but I know you know what listening is, even if it's just superficially, you know what listening is, to listen to something. So, why do we listen?
We listen because we need to get the message of
Mm,
of what the other person is telling us for us to convey it.
okay, you listen, you have a very good point, which means you understand what listening is. But the simple and short answer, as written in your course material, this particular material we're studying, is that we listen because listening is a day-to-day activity. That is short answer. Why do we listen? We listen because listening is a day-to-day activity, which means I can't run from it. I'm in my house, somebody will be saying something and I'm listening. I'm in my office, I will listen. I'm on the road, I will listen. So it's just a day-to-day what? It's part of our day-to-day activity. So it's not something that you can run from. So we mentioned something about the deaf, that the only kind of people that can say that they don't listen, they are the people who are what? Deaf. But even those people, they listen to what? Sign language. They listen to sign language according to the material. So that is why we listen. So who is a listener? You are a listener. But there is a proper and, you know, uh standard definition given by the material, which you have to know because that is one they will ask you in the exam. They say a listener is anybody who is capable of listening, one, to anything said. The first thing is that the person is capable. This capability means that the person has that medium through which he or she can listen. That is the meaning of capable, which means the person has what? Functioning ears. Your ears must be working for you to be able to listen. That is the meaning of capable of listening to anything said, one, and possibly participate in what he or she or in what he listened to. This participate in what he listened to means that the person is attentive to what he is listening to. Attention is also demanded or required for you to listen effectively. So participate in what he listened to and what is demanded to be done, and then the person is able to carry out the action. So this is the standard definition of a listener by your material. I think we are dragging this thing. We are just starting all over every day. New class, we have new people that join. So I will just stop there and then go to the listening enabling skills. You just mentioned them. I'll ask you to go and watch the recording. We've done this before. So, and thank God we recorded them. Just go to the YouTube channel and watch the ones you've missed. Now, what are the skills you need to listen effectively? Functioning ears, one. Concentration, ability to think along with the speaker. We've talked at length on each of these points in the previous recordings, so just go and watch them on the YouTube. Ability to anticipate what the speaker is about to say. Ability to note important signposts and keep the listening activity going. We are through with all this. If you are joining now, just mute yourself. I don't want any issue. Now, listening and comprehending. We've done that too. We said that another word for comprehension means understanding. The synonym of comprehension is what? Understanding, which means you understanding what you are listening to. Two things involved in this particular unit, and we've done it. We've done them rather. You can watch the recording on the YouTube channel. We'll drop it in the group. So, listening comprehension, we've done this. We've done this. We've done this. We've done this. We're supposed to go to unit 3 straight. Even that unit 3, I'm not sure if we've not covered it that day. So, or maybe we started and we've not. So let's go to unit 3. That's what we're supposed to start from. Listening comprehension and note taking. Listening comprehension and note taking. Now, so far so good in this material. We have covered who a listener is, what is listening, why we listen, what we listen to, listening enabling skills, listening and comprehension. We've done all those and we've covered them in the previous classes. Today, our major concern is listening comprehension and note taking. Before we dive further into this topic, I'd like to ask us a question. What do you understand by note taking? I know we've done listening comprehension already, so you know that, but something is added now, note taking. So generally, if you hear note taking, what comes to your mind? Yes? Open question.
Like, for example, if a teacher is teaching in the class, you have to take down notes for you to remember what the teacher taught in class.
Yes, jotting down points as you are listening, which means it's not enough to listen. You have to add another thing to your listening, note taking. Your listening will be more effective if you take down notes, if you jot down notes. For instance, as we have been talking now since the beginning of this class, if you have not been writing down anything, then you are not a student. You are just there to spectate. It is very good if you master the habit of jotting down when you are listening to anything at all, especially maybe seminars, lectures, important meetings. You have to learn how to take notes. So that is why this unit is involved or is here in the material. So let's move on and see what the material have for us. In unit 2, we practiced extensively how to listen for comprehension. And we know how to do that now. The skills involved, all the things you have to do, attention, following the speaker, and all the rest to understand what this person is saying. Now, can you still remember what we said about listening comprehension? Listening and comprehension are related. They used to ask this question in your exams, please. Listening and dash are related. Listening and comprehension are related. So You listen to comprehend. Yes. The relationship between listening and comprehension is that we listen to comprehend. That means we listen in order to what? Understand what we are listening to, and also we understand what we listen to. So that is the relationship between listening and comprehension. We listen to comprehend. We comprehend what we listen to. So don't forget. Now, comprehension is at different levels. We have superficial and deep comprehension. Now, flexibility in listening activities is important. The concentration you give to any listening activities depends on the importance of what is listened to. Please, this is another important thing to note, and even a question. They will say that the concentration of, sorry, the concentration you give to any listening activity depends on the importance, okay, depends on the dash of what is listened to, the importance. So, which means if I'm listening to, if I'm in a clubhouse now, I wouldn't need to listen deeply to anything that is going on there, because that place is just a place of public listening, which is just the superficial one. I just need superficial listening ability to, roll there and enjoy myself. But when I'm in a lecture like this, or I'm in the classroom, or in a board meeting in the office, I will need more than superficial listening. I will need to engage in deep listening. And what we mean by listening is, if you still remember the definition we gave up there, that somebody who is capable of listening to what is being said, that is a listener, and possibly participate in what that thing he listen to is requiring him or her to do. So which means when you are saying you are listening, you must be understanding what you are listening to, that for us to call it listening. So you are not actually listening if at the end of this class now we ask you a question on what we've done and you are unable to answer it, and you are even unable to check your notes to check if the thing is in the note, which means you were not listening. That is just the summary of it. So in this unit, our concern is to study listening comprehension for note taking. While you are listening, you are understanding, then you are jotting down. That is the process we are trying to express here. Now, throughout life, you will face situations where you have to listen to lectures, maybe delivered by a distinguished special guest, or lectures presented in audio recordings, video, or on television. Now, occasionally, in this your course, lectures may be delivered at the study centers, which is not done so again. We watch it online now. The attempt is, sorry, in this unit is to prepare you for listening, comprehending, and taking down notes during lectures. Now, get your tape recorder in, so just forget that. This part is when none just started, when they used to use tape recorder and the rest of them. So ignore it for now. It's no longer valid in this our semester or in our own generation to say. Now, what are we to know at the end of this lesson? You should be able to define note taking. The reason why they did not start with listening comprehension is that in the previous unit, you've already gone through the definition of listening comprehension. So the one we are concerned here, we are concerned about here is note taking, and also to be able to distinguish between note taking and note making. There are two different things. Stay in clear terms how to take notes, apply note taking techniques to taking notes from lectures, and then finally state the do's and don'ts of note taking activity. I think the reason why most of these people are not serious to join class again is because they know that they will get the recording after the class. I will shock them one day. I will not record the class. Now, note taking and note making. Before we dive into this, can someone just say something on the two from your own experience, from what you know already, your own knowledge? What is note taking and what is note making? Or what is the difference between the two of them? Anyone you're able to answer? Yes, open question. How many of us are here? Four. Madam Naomi, can you attempt that? It's only ladies that are here today. Oh. Hey, Biko. The guys are still in church. Abi? Madam Christiana, are you there? It's like it's only Madam Felia that I've been talking since. Yes. What is the difference between note taking and note making? You guys must say something no, before we proceed.
It seems they are not there.
Note taking and note making. Okay. You are free to contribute to if you have an idea.
Okay. Okay, for the note taking, like I said, it means taking down notes or jotting down something on a book for you for a future preference.
Okay.
Why for the note making, maybe it's just a pile up of journals and other future preference you might use in the future for something.
I love the fact that you said something. Thank you for contributing. Now let's get this clear. Note taking is the art of jotting down important points from a lecture, an ongoing event. Hmm? You are in a seminar. The speaker is actually dishing out some information. You are jotting down. That is note taking. You are taking from someone. Hmm? You are taking it from someone. Someone is speaking. You are under the person. You are taking it maybe from news. A newscaster is, actually reading out the news, and you are jotting down the words or the information from the news. What you are doing is you are taking notes. So once is jotting down from once what someone else is saying live like this, or maybe it's recorded or anything, but it's just from someone else. What you are doing is what? You are taking notes. That is what we call note taking. Now, the other one is note making. Note making is you now making notes from maybe textbook you are reading. You are reading on your own. You have a textbook in your front. Then you are making notes like, okay, this particular definition, let me write it down. Or I can also define it like this in my own time. What you are doing there is what? You are making notes. When it's from textbooks, journals, or anything, you are making notes. The type of jottings that you do while reading is called note making. You are making the note. You are the one. It's just like you yourself writing a book. Why the type you do when listening to someone or to anything or to any seminar or whatever or a lecture is note taking. I hope you understand the two now. Is it clear now?
Yes.
So there is a way they normally ask it in the exam. They will say that the kind of uh, I think I still remember this question. Okay, let's read it. Maybe we are going to get there. So they say some people cannot distinguish between note taking and note making. The two terms to such people can be used interchangeably. But I think I've clarified that. Let's not go back to what we've done already. I've done that. So let's take this as practice for us to check if we have truly understood the difference between the two. Now we are to check if these uh, listed sentences or whatever here, if they fall under note taking or note making. So let's do it together. When reading a book in the library, what kind of activity do you do there? Are you making, is it note making or note taking?
Note making.
Note making, very good. When consulting an encyclopedia,
You are taking a note.
no, no, it's still note making.
Oh,
You are
okay.
still making notes. When it's from anything like book, journal, anything like that, is note making. You are reading to make notes. You are listening to take notes. When in a distinguished annual lecture,
You are
what do you do?
Take note.
Taking notes, yes, taking notes. Okay, it's like we jump one. When reading a recent journal,
You are making a note.
you are making notes. Good. When listening to a documentary,
Taking note.
good, you are taking notes. Like somebody has done a documentary about the let's say the origin of Port Harcourt or something like that. So they are not presenting it that okay, oh, this is how the place started. This is the first ancestor, blah blah blah. When you are watching that kind of thing, you take note because it's someone presenting. You take note from presentation. Somebody is raising hand. I hope you are not just coming to tell me that you just joined now, you don't understand. I will not even listen. No. All right, please say
Good
what you
afternoon,
want to say.
sir.
Good afternoon, ma.
It's truly I'm just joining. It's not about I don't understand this. I just have a question as in concerning the TMA and the discussion forum.
Please leave that question till the end of the class. Please. I will
Okay,
attend to it.
thank you, sir.
Just hold on to the end of the class. I will attend to it. So
Okay,
let's
sir.
continue.
Thank you.
Is it note taking or note making? When you are in the reference section of a library,
You are making a note.
you make a note. In fact, you've understood it completely. When listening to a budget broadcast,
Taking a note.
you are taking. Thank God I have only one student in this class, and I'm okay with it. Now, when consulting yellow pages, hope we know what yellow pages means in the library.
No.
You find them in the library. You are going to do that
Oh,
on your Gst104 use of library. So now,
okay.
when consulting yellow pages, are we taking note or we are making note?
Making note.
Yes, we are making note. Now, when in a crucial meeting,
You are taking a note.
we are taking a note. When consulting an open university director,
You are taking a
you
note.
are taking exactly. You know what you will use the thing is somehow confusing sometimes if you have not really mastered the concept of the tool. What you should just bear in mind is once it involves a third party, like someone is there presenting something to you, you are taking from that person. But once it involves you using your own idea on something, like you bought a book today, you are reading the book, you are not saying, oh, this particular place, I like it. You circle it there, you take your data and you start writing things about that thing. You are making, no, now you are the one producing that one. It's making. But taking from someone huh, that is presenting, that one is taking note. So I think we understand the difference between the two now, taking and making note. Now, I don't think you will find this exercise difficult. The answers are straightforward. Any situation that suggests reading, good. This is what you should use to differentiate between the two. Any situation at all that suggests you reading in all the situations listed above requires note making. So once you have to read before you jot, that is note making. Once you listen to someone, to something, before you jot, that one is note making. Now I think we have done justice to that, so let's go to now how do we take notes from lectures, because that's our concern. This course is basically to cook you, prepare you for how to go through all other courses you'll be doing in the university. So when you've already learned how to listen from this course now, and you are now having Math 101 tomorrow, or you're having maybe CSS 111 tomorrow, you already know how to listen to your facilitator and how to jot down points. So while listening under another facilitator, you will be able to jot down what the person is saying by taking notes. Why? Because here you've been taught that for you to listen effectively to anything that's being said, you have to apply the issue of understanding and also taking notes from whatsoever you are listening to. Now, how to take notes from lectures? The first thing is you listen carefully to the lecture. Is it possible for me to be writing down something? For instance, now, I'm just passing by a conference hall and there's a seminar going on. And I'm just passing by. Oh, I'm not sitting there. Oh. I'm just walking by maybe the walkway or something. Then you now collect my notebook from me or my jotter and find out that I've written one page full of what is being said in the place. Is that possible? I know that some of you that are very smart, but is that possible? A full page. Not that maybe your ear just caught something very important as you are walking by and then you quickly jot it down. I'm talking of that you've written a full page about what they are saying there and you just pass there by like 1 second. Is that possible? It's a question to us. Are we really there? I hope you guys can hear me, Sha.
Yes.
Is it possible for that kind of situation to happen? Somebody
No.
that is not part of the lecture, that is not listening to the lecture, and would have jotted full page on the lecture. It's not possible. For instance, now, someone that just came here now and left immediately, then at the end of the class, without watching the recording or anything, will now give us a full jotting of what was done in the class. It's not possible. So the first thing is that what? You have to listen carefully to the lecture. And how do you do that? Pay attention. Sorry, paying attention is very important in note taking. Some students start to write as soon as the speaker starts speaking without taking plan or time rather to listen attentively to what the speaker is saying. Now, if you are going to be writing everything the speaker is saying, then your note taking will not make sense. You have to first, for instance, now, if I have spoken for 2 minutes, you digest the 2 minutes, maybe the thing I've been saying for the 2 minutes, you digest it, then jot down in summary that, okay, all that this person has been saying in the past 2 minutes is that for me to be able to take notes from lecture, number one, I have to listen carefully to the lecture, full stop. So it's not that everything I've been saying, an example, illustration, description, everything you jot down. No, you pick important things, and you can only know the important things when you listen carefully. Another thing is that you have to understand. It will not make you won't be able to jot down important things if you don't even understand what I'm saying. For instance, now you are a mass comm student and you mistakenly bunch upon a link and you clicked on it and you find out that they are doing chemistry 209, which is pure chemistry. Everything they'll be saying there, you will not understand it. So that one is above your head. Now, understand what the speaker is saying before attempting to take note. I don't just say A and you write A. I will say I am, you write I am. I will say going and you write go. No, note taking is not like that. First, listen. Secondly, understand. Next is to put down the summary of the main points of the lecture. Not everything in the lecture, the summary, the important things. Now, so far now, I've explained understanding using some illustration. All you just need to do is that point 2, understanding. You don't need to rewrite every other thing I've mentioned under understanding. Once you put understanding as point 2, so when you go back to meditate on the notes that you've taken, you can now start using your own illustration to explain to yourself how to understand while listening to lectures for note taking. Now, once you put down the summary of the lecture, so now let's see what is written here. It says some students start writing even before the points are made. Thus, they end up writing irrelevancies. Most of the things students study as notes today are irrelevancies because proper notes are not taken. Yes, you have to write points. Do not write full sentences in note taking. So, in order for you to meet up, some speakers are speaking fast and so on and so forth. You need to learn how to use abbreviation where necessary. So you don't need to write a long word. You can form abbreviations. We have standard ones. You can form your own that you know that once I write this thing, this is what it means. So while taking notes, abbreviations are allowed. It's your own note. You are not submitting it to anybody. It's your own note that you read later to meditate on what the person has spoken about. So now we have examples of them. Please, you have to study this on your own because in your exam, they ask some of them. They say, what does this one mean? Mostly they normally ask before this something and somebody. They used to ask them mostly. BC2 sometimes come out. That is because or became something like that. So learn each of them, what they represent when you are taking notes. They are all abbreviations. You can study them on your own. So common note taking abbreviations, those are the things we have talked about. Now, the next thing is that use symbols where necessary or important. You can also draw, not really drawing. You can use some, special characters, as we call them. We call them symbols, also call them special characters to represent some things. Like now, if I want to write at, I don't need to write 80. I can just write this symbol, which we know represent at, and this is for and, we know them. So sometimes they ask these symbols, please, you should note them. Yes, in computer, this thing, this is for male, downward is for female, and so on and so forth. So you can use symbol. In fact, those of you that did shorthand in secondary school, you know what we're talking about in note taking. So those are symbols you can use. Now, you can do some other things to make your note making very important. Please, how many of us are still here? I will need to announce to us that this class is having 5 minutes left, but we still have some things to cover. So the moment this class ends, this 5 minutes, I will restart it. The same link, just join back immediately. I'm restarting the class instantly after this 5 minutes is exhausted, so that we'll finish what we're supposed to finish today. And okay, so emphasize keywords, phrases, sentences, and ideas by using capitalization, underline, coloring, and asterisks. Now, what this means is that when someone like you are listening to me now, and then I mention something that is very important, when you are jotting that down, you may decide to use, ADB is your tab you are using. You know, you can just bolden it. You just say, this thing is very important. You bolden it, or you can underline in that. Okay, this point is very important. Christiana, okay, hold on. Now, another thing your note taking must have is that it must be neat. The neater your notes, the more attractive and the more you would like to read them. Good handwriting, systematic organization, consistent use of headings and subheadings all add to what can make your note attractive, pleasant, and pleasant to read and easy to learn. Obviously, nobody is reading your note for you. Well, it's also good you write it legibly because someone might need to borrow it and also read it and understand some
Good
concepts.
afternoon, sir.
But basically, they are for you.
Good afternoon,
Yes,
sir. I'm just sorry to
Christiana, sorry.
interrupt your lecture, sir.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
I'm with you.
I'm sorry, sir. The textbook I have here, I can't see what is on the screen in my textbook. So I want to ask if we are using the same course,
Which course do you know we are doing?
Gst101, if
Okay.
I'm
So you're
correct.
having the hard copy.
Yes, sir.
Mostly the hard copy, they normally they used to update this our material. So it's likely is different from what we have on the soft copy. The soft copy are easy to update. But hope
Okay.
you know the topic we are treating now. We are on Unit 3, Module 1.
Yes, sir. Sir, please, may I have the link to the soft copy, sir?
Just
So
go
as to follow
just
the...
go to Google, type GST101. If you want to
Okay,
add
sir.
further, you can add non-material. But just once you type GST101, it will bring our material. The first link you will see there is once you click on it, automatically it will download. If you are using system, it downloads into your download. If you are using phone, downloads into your phone memory, and you can access it.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes.
Okay, so that is all that, and that is true. We used to have this issue that let me just pause here. Let's use the 2 minutes to talk about that, and we know that when we start the next class we want to start, we'll continue. This issue she raised now is really, really, really important. There are some people that go focus on reading the hard copy, and when the exam come, they will say that nothing came out from what they've read. In fact, we had this issue several times over many semesters. People will come back and say, where are not certain questions from? All the things they read, nothing come out. Whereas it came out from the materials. So you have to be very careful. We are not discouraging you guys from going to collect the hard copy. Well, it's your right. You paid for it. That is meaning of course registration. When you do course registration, you did two things. Course registration, exam registration. Exam registration is for exam. the money you are paying to sit for exam. The course registration is for your textbook. You understand? Why the semester registration is one that is for the school property and everything. So you still have to go and collect it. But while you collect it, make sure the one you have as hard copy, you also download the soft copy in case they've updated the material. So that is it. Is Madam Christiana still having something to say? Can go ahead if you still have something to say, otherwise drop around. So now, so
No,
far
sir.
so
I'm
good.
already. I'm
Okay,
already
you are done. All right.
looking for. Yes, I'm. Yes, sir. I want to go and
So
download the.
that is
Yes, sir. The soft copy, sir.
that is good. So we have done justice to the difference between note taking and note making. This is what you just do. You can use my screen now. Let me use the 1 minute to teach us that. You click on GST. Once I type Gst101 and I enter, you can see this first link is our material. So once you click on it, we also have other site. I have my own site too. I don't know if some of you know it. I will take you through my site when we come back for the next class. So I'll end this class now. Join back immediately because we still have some things to cover in this just 101.